you gotta tell me if the stream is live. It should be.
Oh.
I'm on it and it's still not. It says it's scheduled for 22:30, now 22:50.
Oh, it said, no, mine says live now.
Oh,
yeah, it's working.
Yeah,
it's working.
It's working.
Yeah,
It's working absolutely. It's bloody hell.
Yeah.
It's going really well.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
Woo.
Oh no, I think it's all right. I was going to say it's a little bit. It's a bit behind, but that's because it obviously is behind.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
So we can edit
I love on switches.
That looks sick. It's a yam because that looks dead good.
I tried my best. Not a professional, but
Better than
Close
anything
enough.
us idiots could ever do. So,
Right.
Oh, that's it. Thank you. Goodbye.
No,
we'll leave
It's-
now. I mean,
it's gone off now. The stream's gone off now. Oh, was that purposeful or?
no.
Oh. Yeah. Hold on.
Let's make here.
For me, it still says it's live, so I don't.
It's working. Yeah, it's working.
back on now,
It's
yeah.
working for me again now.
That's it. Oh,
I think.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure it won't be, but we're going to do it anyway.
That's what I meant.
Well, that's probably the only option we have.
I'll maybe have a fan in the chat while your TV do that. I wonder who that
I
could
won't do that.
possibly
That could
be.
be.
Like, oh, you come on.
He's gonna start spamming Ric Flair in a minute. Right.
Woo.
When we're all like certain that this is ready, get the if you can swap the Royal Rumble logo picture out for the.
I did. I can change it with the click of a button. So, if we're ready to start, we can start. So.
Yeah.
I love how that's probably a shoot from Dan.
Switch it to that, and then I'll tweet it out, and then we can go.
What do
Do
you
that.
mean switch it?
The picture, the logo.
So I can do it to that. Should take a few seconds, but on stream of course. But
Yeah.
Cool.
with whenever we're done with the topic, I just click a button and it goes to the next picture. I ordered in
Yes.
according to the agenda, so it should all work fine. Great.
We must start again.
Because if that's gonna happen every time you switch the picture, don't switch the picture again. Just leave it like that.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's a better idea? Just in case. Just leave that picture there. Oh no,
Okay.
they've started moving again now.
Yeah,
Oh, we have, yeah.
should I try to switch the picture and see
Yeah,
if that's what it is?
See if it works. Yeah.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, it's not working.
It's still working, so cams are still
Still
working right
working.
now.
Put on the stream my other computer and well, it's working.
The picture changed, right? I literally saw it switch live.
Yeah.
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 Cams
Cool.
are still moving, it seems like, so.
The only issue we have is we're going to switch it in time with when we talk about it, so it's going to switch before on stream, before the actual videos catch up.
Yeah, but so it's delayed anyway, so we talk about it now and the audio and picture will both be on key, so it will be at the same time on stream we talk about. I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Hey, there's something there.
But we talk about it now and I switch the picture now and just the same thing happens later on stream, so it won't.
Yeah.
Audio
It's
is
not.
faster than changing the picture or something, so.
Dan and Liam need to move them like their thingies down. They've just got their little heads poking up at the bottom.
A bit, yeah. Yeah, Liam is fine, Dan is fine, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I'll set the tweet up.
Yay!
Fucking hell.
Yes. Running around with hashtag debut return. Hashtag Braun Strowman 5 Live.
Okay. Hashtag Legendary.
Hashtag wins the Rumble. Yeah.
Red flag, go woo on the... I know that song, and I have it on my playlist, and I'm not ashamed of it.
So just
It's That's all it needs. Somebody's having audio issues. It sounds like they're driving.
I can't hear anything. Oh.
Sounds like a...
Getting run over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why.
It's like raining, but it's never raining in England, so that must be a mistake.
What do you mean it's never raining in England? Have you never been?
Is my audio okay, or is it?
Yeah, now it's a bit quieter, so...
Oh, it's because I've got the fan on next to me. But
yeah, that's 100% it then. Okay.
Okay.
Right, hold on. Oh, fucking hell.
I need to try and not look at the iPad screen as often because you just destroy my eyes.
Right. That's weird.
It's nowhere near as bad as far behind the level really.
Yeah, it's about 10 seconds or so, I think. Should be about 10 seconds. I think. I don't know.
We'll see you now. Right, anyway. It's been tweeted, so sort of picture and we'll get off to an official start.
Yay!
Try and keep this kind of
picture.
out of track.
We switched, we can begin.
Okay. Oh, fucking hell, I'll do this. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of WrestleVision Live. Hopefully, a regular occurrence, possibly. We've got over some technical stumbling blocks. And we're going to discuss today the Royal Rumble. It's 2 nights away, the Royal Rumble 2019. We've got loads of other stuff as well. You can see it on screen. TakeOver Phoenix. We're discussing some contract issues with WWE guys moving, and girls, potentially, moving to AEW. We've got Ronda Rousey news. She's apparently leaving soon. We've got some other stuff. We've got WWE's tag team division. We're going to discuss WWE's tag team division, how it can be improved, why it should be improved, and why Otis Dozovic is the best wrestler in the world. If that's to introduce yourselves, I'm Liam. Hello.
I'm Dan.
I think I'm Jan. It's in German, just Yen. It's either the Chinese currency or the short form of Jeanette. I don't know. Pick what
Jeanette,
you want.
you're Jeanette. I was told you to say
Jeanette.
Oh, God.
And I absolutely baffled that Liam would say one was leaving to her vagina and she makes her own decisions.
We'll get to that. I'm sure that's going to provoke some interest.
Get into her relationship, right?
What we are going to start off with is the Royal Rumble. It is the most pressing issue we've got. We're going to go through match by match, give a little preview, give a little predictions, but overall, thoughts going into the Rumble? What do you all think?
Yeah, I'm not as excited as I've been last year or the years before. I don't know why. Probably because of not delivered promises by WWE. too strong that the winner is actually not that predictable. So
That's the
that's
best
my
thing I think this year, because last few years it was kind of obvious who's gonna win. I mean,
before now, I'd say the one that all won in 2017 wasn't really that predictable. But then they had obviously Triple H, the Roman.
who won 2017? Was it
That was Randy Orton.
Yeah,
Orton?
because he had that dreadful match against Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
combination of a great
And we
feud
all know who he lost it to.
Oh,
to Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
everyone's favourite.
Backlash.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I saw some people say on the predictability thing, like, I've seen multiple people say that WWE has made it obvious that Seth Rollins is going to win.
I don't think so.
They haven't. That's just because they've read what Meltzer's said. They've confused that with WWE, like, portraying it as Rollins is most likely to win. I think from a kayfabe point of view, probably McIntyre.
Yeah, my prediction. I would like him to see him win, actually, so... Yeah.
I would also like to see Drew McIntyre, but he's not the one I think was going to win.
To get to that, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that, and
You're going to have to find out.
I have... Yep. I have someone I want to win, and I don't know if he's even gonna be in the match. That's all I'm going to tease for now. So we'll get to that.
Yeah.
It's been anyway.
So first,
We'll start off. Yeah.
Cruiserweight Championship.
First of all, I think obviously this is a good match on paper, but it could be so much better looking at the qualifying matches, because you got Murphy, who's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Itami, obviously, one of the best. Even Alexander. Alexander's had loads of title matches recently. There's no need for him to have one. But then the other two guys, Tozawa beat Gulak. No, Tozawa beat Rush.
Yep.
And then who's the other one? Kalisto. Kalisto beat Gulak. And I think if you just swap them two rounds, so you put Rush in instead of Tozawa and Gulak instead of Kalisto.
But then it's all heels.
Heels don't exist, right? We're not going to get to this. This is the next one. This is
a whole stream.
Yeah, that could come. But in terms of predictions,
I think we all agree on Murphy, right?
Murphy, 100%.
Murphy.
Yes.
But who's he? Now, looking forward, when we talk about this match, obviously, I think the person who wins this match, be it Murphy or not, they're going to hold the title to Mania. I think.
Yes.
Who will they challenge at Mania?
Ricochet.
Tony.
I don't think there's anyone else on the roster that can.
Not right now. So.
That's why I think Ricochet.
I hope, to be honest, I think Ricochet, but I hope not. I don't want him to go to 205 Live. I mean, he's the person that can elevate the division to a whole nother level. That's true, but not now. No. Maybe next year, but not this year.
I also believe they are holding off Ricochet. I believe that they are going to fall back on their planned storyline that they dropped somehow last year, but they were going to pick that up again, and they will book that feud between Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese, who used to be friends, and they will just realize, oh, we forgot about that, and then they'll book the friend versus friend match at WrestleMania, Nese against Buddy Murphy.
I wouldn't be mad at that, actually. But,
yeah. Do we like any match that you put Murphy in against anyone in 205 Live?
Will be
apart from Kalisto. We don't talk about him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good match, like.
Yeah.
Davari, that would be like anyone on the maybe just.
Itami's kind of the wild card in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting one because I think I'm not making any predictions, spoilers for later. Actually, I was going to start talking about Ricochet and leave that to later. Whoa. Does anyone else have any closing thoughts on Cruiserweight title match? I think we're all pretty much agreed Murphy's going to win.
If Murphy doesn't win, it's going to be Tommy. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Because of the great Arya Daivari.
And then it's Tommy against Daivari at WrestleMania. Dan's like,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, you made it Dan, the big Flair comes out.
Yeah, you made it.
Flair is gonna slim down to 204 and then fight whoever. God damn it.
Woo! He's just winning every time.
How the frick did you mention? How? Just how did you get Flair in here? But okay.
it's not connected to that. Don't like, it's going to just become a natural occurrence.
Yep. 100%.
Even if Charlotte
Ronda Rousey's going to beat Sasha Banks and then Ric Flair's going to come out and be a...
Ric Flair's daughter is to win the Royal Rumble and then Ric Flair to come out and 31 and eliminate
Just makes sense. If you look into it, it all makes sense.
Well, that's his daughter first time. Actually, no, because he didn't want that.
Anyway, talking of Ric Flair, a title that Ric Flair never held, the United States Championship. The United States Championship match. That was a decent attendance.
Every time he does this thing.
Oh.
Sorry.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I just googled to check.
It's John Cena or something.
What an excellent start.
He has one new
Yes.
No, he hasn't. Has he? No, he hasn't.
WCW. And they're counting that.
I'm not counting that. Talking of the title that Ric Flair never won, the WWE United States Championship. Down has to make every damn word. Bloody hell. Anyway, on the preview, we've got Rusev against Nakamura again. I'm not particularly excited. Who's going to win?
I think Rusev, and my prediction is Nakamura is going to take some time off. He has to. There's nothing for him to do right now besides that feud, and if he loses, take time off. I don't know. I think his character right now, as I said in my predictions, is just... Yeah, he is kind of aggressive, but all he's doing is low blows, and that's it. That's his gimmick right now, I think. And just take time off, come back, be the King of Strong Style he was in New Japan, and F people up. That's, I hope, what's going to happen, because I don't see anything else happening, to be honest. Dan, your turn.
Yeah.
Prediction, Dan. US so much.
I mean, this match had basically no build on TV. I don't even remember them doing anything on TV. Did they on SmackDown?
Yeah, you have on SmackDown. Because they haven't been now.
Yeah, on the
Lana over at one time.
And
that was what I mentioned.
And it's like, I didn't.
And, well, yeah, that match is like MEH, like, meh, where Rusev is going to win this match. I don't see them putting the title back on Shinsuke. And, well, it's on the pre-show, it's going to be filled out with loads of ads for upcoming matches later on the actual main show. And, well, kind of sad for the United States title, both.
All that hard work, out with
yeah, that's.
I think Rusev's going to retain again. I don't know about what Nakamura's going to do afterwards, but I think his reign was so disappointing. It was a case of giving it back, the same thing's going to happen, so keep it on Rusev. He's only had it for a few weeks. Yeah. I don't know who Rusev goes against now.
I think he's going to get that back because history has shown that they're not really that hard on Rusev, and I think the obvious US title match for Mania was going to be Ray and Andrade, and they're sort of blown that off already, and they're going to do tag team for them. So I see the US title being thrown in like the cluster match with like 6 people, and I think they would rather have Shinsuke in that match, and we said about Royal and vice versa, because it's probably going to have Joe in, Ali, and I just think this change has seemed like the sort of thing they would just try and pop a rating.
That would be a good match for Mania. Shinsuke versus Joe. That would be a great match.
I think this time was something that they just did like on Christmas, okay, look, we did on Christmas, and it just reached one of those top ends where they're going to flip it straight back.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they don't care about the US title. Like, before Nakamura's reign, there was like 15 odd champions in a year, or 15 odd reigns, and that's not me exaggerating. That's an actual thing. So they don't care about it. They don't care about the US Championship. It's like it's just a prop. So.
Based on just lack of interest and just the fact that they do this, I just think it's one of those reigns where it's going to flip it straight back over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no automatic rematches, so it's not like we have to see the match again.
Yeah. And because
I guess it depends who the next.
All that SmackDown. I think that was not just Rumble. They're going to carry that on afterwards with Jeff and Joe and Ali, and then that'll lead to this US title match.
We'll see. That's probably the to me. To me, this match is the most or will be the most boring one that night, but
we'll get to one later.
Yeah.
It'll be on the it'll be filmed with
I think Rusev and Shinsuke have this really good chemistry.
The
match won't be bad, but I think it's just the ads in between, the lack of interest in the title, all it coming together. Yep.
Yeah. The Kuji, boring.
We'll see.
Speaking of Shane,
SmackDown.
Who did that segue though? Who did that?
That was fantastic. That was it. That was Connel.
That was actually perfect.
The
SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, defending against the best wrestlers in the world, whatever the thing is, Miz and Shane McMahon.
Can we not talk about this, please? Can we just not? We all know Shane is
as quickly as we can. Shane's going to win.
Yep.
Move on, right, next one.
SmackDown Women's Championship match. Whew, this is a hard one.
It's interesting. It depends if Becky's in the Rumble, depends if Becky's winning the Rumble, depends. I mean, to be honest, I think this is going to be irritating. I think the reign's been short.
Yep.
Yeah,
Becky, regardless of whether they do Becky against Ronda or they do the three-way, I think Asuka's going to be the other champion in the other championship match. And we'll get to that in the Women's Rumble prediction later. But I think Asuka's going to take the title into WrestleMania.
Yep.
So.
That's it.
yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
There's not much more to talk about here, to be honest.
Yeah. Maybe there's going to be a run-in by Charlotte Flair. Maybe.
Or Ronda. Because Ronda ran in TLC, so.
Yeah,
will be a
but
bit
to be honest, the only match I see Charlotte running in on is the Raw Women's title match because of the video they put earlier, training with Sasha and stuff. Don't see that happening here. Yeah.
I guess we'll see, but don't know if they gonna pin Becky clean. So don't see that.
It might be like Asuka gets DQ'd or something like that.
We'll see.
Yeah. I think either way, Asuka's leaving with the championship, whether she wins or loses. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Speaking of women, the Raw Women's Championship match.
Really insane.
Ronda Rousey defending against Sasha Banks in what could be an absolutely sensational match.
Okay, so does anybody think this is going to go any other way than... Yeah.
No. But to be honest, oh shit, my cam just fell down on stream. Wait a second.
Oh, that right? Oh, come on, eyes.
Please stand by.
Oh no.
Does that mean it's now?
Hopefully, he didn't pick up his German accent.
Racist.
Anyway, are we back?
Yes, we are back. We are back. God damn it. Raw Women's Championship match. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll be a good match, so whatever. Yeah.
There'll be that one I think the lead's actually going to be
Yeah.
She's like taking every stiff shot, and then she's going to be pinned possibly.
If she's going to attack or not. Because I think she's going to win that chamber. So they might want to keep her protected.
Oh, you mean the tag chamber?
Going to make a run in and try to help Sasha win the belt, and then they both fail. And the only way they can recover emotionally is by winning the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion.
But they've got to get through some absolutely fierce competition of the Bella Twins to get there.
And Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka.
Yeah, and then.
Don't forget about Tamina.
And they're right favourites.
Right squad.
And
Yeah,
Sonya Deville.
if the Riot Squad are going to be able to do a New Day and have all three members.
I'll still do this, man.
You forgot about
Good point.
Lana and Naomi, possibly.
Fuck them.
Oh dear me. Move on as quickly as possible.
Speaking of terrible people, Rob Lesnar.
No, next is
Rob,
the WWE
yes, it's
Championship,
really
not
down.
Universal.
It's gone in the wrong order. WWE Championship match.
God damn it, how much did you spend on that shit? Sorry?
Dan's the champion.
Language?
Dan is
How much did you spend on that? How much? Be honest. Was it
Far too much.
$400?
Speaking of the WWE Championship,
That
If
title
only I
will be
had that
defended
money.
at the Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan defending against AJ Styles. Yes, indeed. What is everyone's thoughts on this?
oh, let these Germans go first.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty upset that Daisy possibly died a death that was worthless because Daniel promised to change the belt's design once again after retaining against AJ Styles.
He didn't say he changed
Sorry.
the design.
Died for the beautiful leather on Daniel.
Strap. He wanted
Just
to change
get rid
the
of the
strap,
leather
but recently he said he's in the process of doing that. So
Maybe
Well,
we'll
it's
see.
gonna matter.
maybe we're gonna see a new belt. Maybe.
After
Actually,
he's beaten AJ Styles.
I think if that happens, if Bryan comes out with some sort of like knobhead title that isn't title that isn't level one, I think that's even more of a pointer. That's my prediction, which is AJ Styles is actually going to take the title back. I think there's a couple of reasons. The first one is that
I think if he brings out the hemp belt, he'll retain.
I think it'll just be like a one-time novelty thing. They'll just be like, oh, look at me, and then he loses and then looks like a twat.
And then AJ,
It would be typical
cows get the leather put back on the table.
And if AJ loses, he would like make Vince look bad, so we can't have that either. So
Did anybody see the Facebook video of him at the Royal Rumble Superstore where he said he was the champion of the cows?
Wait, what?
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen this. It sounds like something I want to see.
He's in the Superstore and he's looking at the AJ Styles merch. And he gets the AJ Styles leather jackets. He says, I'm the champion of the cows. He picks them up. He says, this one's made of Daisy and thrown on the floor. This one's made of Chloe and thrown on the He's just the best.
Excellent. Anyway, on to the actual reasons I think AJ is going to pick up the win. The last two WWE title reigns, AJ and Jinder, unfortunately, I have to bring that back up, were quite long. They were very long reigns, and I think the WWE title is due a short-ish reign. I think Brian,
It happened again.
Oh,
My
bloody
cam
hell.
isn't holding up. I'm switching it. I don't want to pick it up.
Yeah, stop it
No.
now. That's fine.
Can you talk about Jinder?
No, we were. No, Jinder wasn't the conversation.
If you want to get into the Rumble, then we can talk about it there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You might win the Rumble about then.
Woo!
Anyway, one reason is that I think Brian's reign is going to be a short one. I think the WWE title is just a short reign because it was a bit long. Second reason is I don't think you do style. I don't think you do style Brian again unless Brian styles is winning. I don't see why.
I just think he's winning because all the potential WrestleMania title matches was leading towards a champion. If Brian champion, he's the base.
Yeah, we were having a discussion over there. Like, there's not really anyone for Brian to defend against unless you're doing a Mustafa Ali or he's like the only one.
Ray. Ray.
I think
I'm gonna turn off the video for you guys because my other camera fell down and I can use my cam in two programs at the same time, so you're not gonna see me from now on, but the stream will. So.
Yeah. Anyway, I think AJ's gonna win, and then at the chamber, because I said the other day, they'll do the number one match in the chamber. It will be Ali, Brian, and Ray, all on Joe, and then Randy will go out on they'll be Randy at WrestleMania.
I don't want to see that, but I think that's going to happen. Yeah.
I mean, it'll be good, but there could be so much better.
Yep.
Randy Orton in a championship match in 2019.
And he win.
WrestleMania. And he wins.
I tweeted out yesterday. I think Orton has a decent length reign, and now Ali's on TV, and potentially the first SmackDown on Fox kind of set the precedent. But yeah, I think I want another Orton title reign because when I first started watching wrestling, Orton was the guy that it was heel Orton. Heel Orton was the guy that has his own issues. So you know, I like it. I think he deserves one last title reign.
He does, but
Did
I
he
don't want to see
already?
it in Mania.
This one's the job as well.
Yeah.
I mean, so we've got. I think AJ. Connel thinks AJ.
I think AJ too.
I'm going with Amy Ryan. I believe they find someone that can face Mr. Pickle.
You know, with Ali, if it'll be US title match.
I don't think Ali's. I think they'll do it as well. Like, yes, they kind of thrust it in straight away. They didn't put him over Brian in the time match. But last couple of weeks, he's been backed by Joe. I think they'll take it over to Sullivan. And then eventually, I think he will be the WWE champion because I think it's a nice story to do. But
Yep.
yeah.
You don't get nice things. So we win and then he'll like Baron Corbin come straight out with it on one bench. And then we'll have Baron Corbin title reign.
Just what we wanted to see was on Jinder.
Not even I want to see that.
Talking of Baron Corbin, who's on Raw, and some other people.
He's led by Lars Sullivan. And we're in that match, and he's replaced by Finn Balor.
Talking about Finn Balor, let's get to the next match.
I should just do
Yeah.
this now.
Universal title match. Brock Lesnar against Finn Balor. They advertised this as Brock Lesnar against Braun Strowman for a few weeks since Crown Jewel because Strowman. No, since TLC because Strowman beats Corbin because of some jobbers and Kurt Angle. And then
And one of their jobbers is now getting the title shot.
well, yeah, okay, right, anyway. But what was I forgot what I was going to say now. I hate you so much. Someone take over. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to say. Someone's going to.
Okay.
Oh, I remembered.
Well, yeah, it's
One calling him at ringside. And the question is the demon going to show up or not?
Nope.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Yeah, it's going to be Braun against Lesnar. That's the original. That's why Strowman was in the TLC. That's why I did the stipulation there against Corbin. But then Vince realised he's not going to put the belt on Strowman. And he doesn't want Lesnar to beat Strowman 3 times clean. For anyone who says the Crown Jewel match wasn't clean, it was. So, sorry. But yeah, decided don't want to beat Braun 3 times. So Balor's the next guy. Some people hold it out. I think Lesnar's going to
No way. They'll do that again, like I said in the last match, under one spot, where he gets really close confidence, and then I got kicked out with like, yeah, it's done.
It'll be a really good match because it'll be similar to one against Starr, similar to one against Bryan. Lesnar's not expecting against small guys. He cares when he's against small guys because he enjoys it, and then he's going to try. And it'll be a good match. Lesnar's ultimately going to win. And then advance to WrestleMania to defend against someone who will get on too soon. Speaking of that guy, that's not the next one because we win this match in NXT.
Speaking of him, he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Speaking of Royal Rumbles, here's Lewis.
No, everyone said anything about Universal. Dan, Universal.
Universal match, well, you already said that Braun was advertised for the match and now he's not in the match. I, quite frankly, was not excited for another Braun vs. Brock match because I've already seen that many times. So I'm slightly more excited for better vs. Brock, but you can predict the result pretty easily. It's going to be Brock, and well, I hope the match is going to be good, but it could also just be a sport because David lost against Goliath, as a historical fact. David lost against Goliath, so.
Can I just tell you guys that while we were segueing to the Women's Rumble match, I already switched the picture and now we're still talking about the Universal title match?
The Universal match is between Ember Moon and Universal in that picture. Anyway,
Women's Rumble?
Women's Rumble. Go on.
Oh god, that's horrible.
Nia, Natalya, Bayley, and Charlotte.
Least favorite women on the roster. And
So, the Women's Royal Rumble match.
okay, I'll get my disappointment out of the way. Charlotte's going to win.
Woo! And then.
If only is there. If only. I think this is going to be very basic. I think they're going to overshow this because then they'll have an excuse to not have it.
I don't know if it's my young first. My head.
Yeah, it's a bit better now. The only thing that keeps happening is that
You're just too small. You're just.
I don't know. I think it's the program though. Every few.
Oh, is it every time you swap the picture?
No, it's I don't know when it happens or why, but every few minutes randomly it seems the picture of your cam changes in my program, but it's a fix of 2 seconds and it looks weird, but I don't know why. It's not bad. No, it's great.
Anyway, we missed out a Women's Rumble. I predicted Ember Moon. I think Charlotte and Becky and Ronda's going to come out naturally. It's going to be a natural just merging together somehow. They're going to follow each other out. Well, nothing about Charlotte is natural, is it?
It just took. Shit. Damn.
But yeah, I think that's going to be, it's going to be that three-way for the Raw Women's title match. Ronda has asked me an opponent. I think you look at SmackDown roster, no one on there that you want to see against Asuka. Look at Raw roster, NXT can't see Ember Moon. The only way to get Ember over to face Asuka is for her to win the Rumble. I think that's, I would like that a lot.
Yeah, I predicted another opponent from Asuka from NXT, and that's Nikki Cross. I don't know why, but I think it would be a good introduction for her on the main roster. Yes, I know, but let me dream. You know, it's... Yeah, probably, but... I met Nikki Cross a few years ago while she was still in the Indies, and since that I've been a fan of her because she's just breaking kayfabe. It's that already. Nah, she's a great person all around, and I just think she's deserving of it. So, and it would fit in my opinion, but yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
Ric Flair. No. I predicted Becky Lynch to win this because I believe they're going to go fully Stone Cold Steve Austin on her or Roman Reigns on her. She's going to double duty. She's going to lose that match against Asuka, and then she will enter the Royal Rumble at a late number, like something between 27 or 30, and then she will just clock everybody out, and she will eliminate everybody, and then everybody is going to get crazy and cheer for her, and then yeah, it's Becky Lynch versus probably Ronda Rousey. She picks her, and then gets right into that.
Becky is gonna be the man, no pun intended. Yeah, it is. But or Becky is gonna win against Asuka, win the Rumble as well, and just be double champ. And with that, the brand split is over. That's a topic for another week. But
That's a philosophical debate.
Yep.
Connel being out there, I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about it, so we'll move on to the other Roman match, which is an end Roman match. We are, because we can... I'll let you look at it, actually. You can look at your little things. Oh, big.
I'm not
There's really good body excellence to the SmackDown as well.
Anyway, go on. The link for our website, which is WrestleVision.wordpress.com, because we can't follow our own thing, is in the description. So go there. There's some really nice articles. Connell's done some. He's done some more in-depth Rumble predictions where he's actually like laid out the surprise eliminations, who's going to be the Iron Man / woman, who's going to enter number 1, who's going to enter 2, who's going to number 2, who's going to enter number 2, etc. And Dan's done some really good as well. He's done 12 WWE, 8, a number of WWE wrestlers that WWE is hiding from us. 5 match sites just come back, which I really enjoy reading, and I think that's it, isn't it? Something else. Oh, the video as well that we put up, that's on the website too. This will be at some point, I'll probably start that tomorrow. Go to the website, it's in the description, for even more content than you get on YouTube. What more could you ask for? Anyway, that's that way.
predictions.
I mean, a lot of us think Seth Rollins.
Yep.
Been reported widely, Seth Rollins is got Lesnar. Times like this, I kind of maybe rather not be as knowledgeable about the whole inside of things as I am, and as we are as like people that engage with Dave Meltzer. Because as we were saying before, the WWE haven't set up like a clear winner this year, so it's like from a perspective of someone that doesn't know what Dave Meltzer says, it's genuinely unpredictable. But because we know, or according to him, Lesnar against Seth is the match at WrestleMania. The logical option is Seth to win. So
Yep.
I want to point out that the picture that we used has Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin as favorites to win the Royal Rumble.
well, that was from WWE.com.
It's
who also
actually just
predicted
a
Ellie
picture from
Fox and
WWE.com that they used to advertise the match.
It also,
My definitely watching Baron Corbin.
Yep.
everyone go through their predictions quickly. Because there's a segue, little feed there that can't through that.
Prediction is to Drew McIntyre, but I teased earlier. I hope that someone wins it that isn't probably not even in the match, and that's someone that's on the takeover card, and I think you guys know who I'm talking about. Matt Riddle.
Sharing the baseline.
No, Matt Riddle. I
thought you said I was black, actually.
no, Matt Riddle. I think, to be honest, I would like it. I would just love to see the way these two just beat the living hell out of each other. But Lesnar against Matt Riddle at Mania, just imagine that. Riddle beating Lesnar, Lesnar leaving for UFC, and that's it. But I would... Not going to happen, we all know that, but let me have dreams, please.
So who do you think's gonna win it?
McIntyre. I think McIntyre.
McIntyre was an early favourite, but
Yeah.
in recent weeks, I think she's
So,
Anyway, Dan, prediction.
Who I think is going to win is Seth Rollins, as we already said, for all these reasons. Who I want to win is going to be Ric Flair, and
Why did you not do that?
once again, he teased it so often now. He said he's clear to wrestle, and
The dude is clear to wrestle where? Under which conditions? In an old person's home on some mattresses or what? Not in the WWE. You can tell me whatever you want.
He's just.
No. This dude is going to have a heart
It's
attack
going to
from
happen.
stepping through the ropes, okay?
He won the KFC Battle Royale, so everything is possible.
No, it was zero.
win and Ray John Cena for Speaking of John Cena, he's not actually
You see John Cena on your screen. He in the Rumble graphic. He's not going to be in the Rumble for reasons. He's doing a movie. They advertised him knowing full well that he was doing a movie because they are massive bells like that. And Cena won't be in the Rumble. Now, the Cena discussion leads into the plan for him at WrestleMania, which was originally and could still be to face Lars Sullivan. First of all, before we actually get into any discussions about why that might not be happening, thoughts on that as a proposed match, Cena against Lars?
Do not care at all. But yeah.
It doesn't excite me at all.
Nope.
No.
Good news.
I mean, put all young talent in, but
Good news. The good news is, I say good news, obviously it's not. Lars Sullivan's suffering potentially mental health problems. He's getting a little bit nervous. He had some panic attacks and anxiety attacks. He's been at home for quite a while. He's not
supposed to be on Raw like 2 weeks ago.
I think both. The original plan was for Lars Sullivan to attack Cena in a backstage segment, which was what was going to put Cena out of the Rumble, because they knew full well that he wasn't going to be in it. Now that Lars hasn't done that, and it's not out of the question that he's still going to be against Cena, they did the angle where Cena hurt his ankle or something in the match last week in the main event on last Raw due to Drew McIntyre. And apparently, the match, if it's not going to be Cena against Lars at WrestleMania, is now going to be Cena against Drew McIntyre, which sounds a lot better. I think we'll all have to see that.
If it can't be Cena versus Ric Flair, then it can't be Cena versus this. It has to be Cena versus the next episode. But we'll get to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cena's not in the Rumble. I don't think any other thoughts on anything to do with the Rumble that we haven't already covered before we move on to TakeOver.
I think that this year will probably be one of the few years with not that much NXT people in it. I don't think there are going to be much guys from the
I think there's going to be maybe one or two minutes.
One of the Undisputed Era.
Nope, I don't. I think
I don't think
if
there's
someone
last
from
year.
NXT is going to be in there, I think it's Aleister Black, maybe Cassius Ohno, and I don't know someone else. These are the only two I can really imagine, to be honest.
I'm 100% certain that somebody from the Undisputed Era is going to that spot because they did Cole at the last year's Rumble and they did Roderick Strong at the Greatest Royal Rumble, so they will do like Bobby Fish or Kyle O'Reilly at this year's Rumble.
It was a dream.
It was all a bad. No, it wasn't a dream. It was a nightmare.
Connell.
Dream, the Velveteen Dream, of course.
Oh, that was good. That was a nice one. Anyway, in terms of NXT, I think Ricochet. I think he's losing the North American title. That gives away the prediction for the next set, doesn't it? Anyway, I think we've done it now. I think he's going to lose the North American title match. I think debuts on the Raw the next night, and then does a 205 live thing. I don't know.
I don't think he'll work at 205 Live because the audience of that show has already know who Ricochet is. But Dream will probably come up after Mania.
See, you say that though, but the in-house ones won't because they're SmackDown. I think if you debut Ricochet in the Rumble, after doing some amazing stuff, the SmackDown fans that are watching 205 Live 2 nights later, which is in the same area, will know who it is.
Don't give a shit about it.
Exactly, but that's because you don't know who it is. If you put Ricochet in the Rumble, they'll know, they'll recognise the music. I think. I mean, they still won't care because they're a bunch of rebellions, but it's one of them, innit? And I think Pete Dunne from NXT UK is pretty good. Because he. Yeah, I could say that. What's he doing? Oh, he's just been out. Talking of NXT, TakeOver. Phoenix is the night before, which is looks very tasty indeed, as we say every year, or every TakeOver rather. Don't need to do much of an introduction to this one. 5 great matches. We'll just get straight into predictions. First one, Cassius Ohno against Matt Riddle in a rematch from the last TakeOver, which I've forgotten who it
And
was.
from
4 against 2.
Yeah.
that match that ended with that beautiful knee strike, I still love it.
Does anybody think Cass is getting rid of this?
I think there's a slight chance, but it is no. I don't think it's. I never say 100%.
Yeah, but
Weird enough, they can over TV, but I definitely don't think they're over
Riddle wins this.
Riddle was going to buy Tampa at TakeOver, wherever else in New York is, WrestleMania,
Yeah, maybe.
TakeOver, Barclays.
That's. Yeah. Whatever.
No.
Damn.
I believe that Matt Riddle is going to win this match, but this match is certainly going to go much longer as the first.
I think
What?
That's
hit
not hard then. The first match was literally like 4 seconds.
out.
I said way longer, so they're going to have an actual match with pinfalls on both sides, but in the end, at the end of the day, Matt Riddle is going to pull off the victory because he fights not only for himself, but for his friend, Keith Lee, and he will revenge his friend, Keith Lee, and beat his bro, his bro, and beat Cassius Ohno, KO, the KO man.
KO.
Talking of KO, someone who'll be wanting to KO her opponent is Shayna Baszler.
Tag match because you could on video was Kyle O'Reilly.
The NXT Women's title match, Shayna Baszler defending against Bianca Belair, I think another fairly predictable potential.
Undefeated.
Technically, I think it will be Bianca by DQ.
Yes.
Something like that. I think, yeah, Shayna's going to walk out champion.
Yep.
James is the champion if she's technically
The thing is, I would believe Belair is going to win this, but not with the build on NXT. It's just been meh. No, I don't. Not with this build. I don't see that happening.
And make it, yeah.
I'll probably
No.
I'll be in the shriveled on camera.
Dang, 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 dang.
Right. Talking of stripping, someone who I want to see strip is Kyle O'Reilly. Tag title match is Kyle O'Reilly and
Roderick Strong, I
Fish
think.
or Strong. Anyway, Undisputed Era, defending against the War Raiders, and I think this is where Undisputed Era lose their titles.
Yep. Agreed.
Dan
No.
disagrees. He's sat back. He's gone.
The ringside match, and the Undisputed Era is going to defend their tag titles. Just because I believe Shayna is going up, and the Undisputed Era is completely going to stay on NXT. So they need the title of Baszler, and they will remain the tag titles will remain on Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. And
It's still entertaining. I just think, like, in terms of the other teams, like, I think Forgotten Sons are probably the next title challenge. I don't like that idea. I thought that out.
going to be Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. I believe Burch and Lorcan are the next challengers are actually going to win the titles this time.
Oh, I think they're more UK guys.
Yeah, I think they'll keep winning the UK. I mean, they'll do both as well, but I think the more focus is going to be on NXT UK potentially.
But Oni hasn't been on NXT UK yet, so I don't know if they actually want to use him for NXT UK because he would be the only American on that show.
Would he?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he was. Now we've got to think, we can't believe Google this now.
Speaking of American, Master
Defending against Dutchman. Oh, he's not even champion. Oh. Next one's a North American one. Every time.
It's North American Championship.
Yes. So it's Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner are going to NXT UK, obviously, but Burch and Lorcan are going to stay on the NXT main show.
We need more tag teams in NXT.
NXT's been gutted of tag teams recently.
Just because Otis got pulled up. That was all it was, really.
That's it.
Yeah.
You lose Otis, you lose an entire division.
No one can fill the void that he left.
Does Jan have any thoughts on the tag title match before we move into the North American?
Tag title match, not really. I just think War Raiders are gonna win this one. I think it's time for Undisputed Era to move on from the titles, to be honest.
And they're all
That's
going to have.
But who is going to play
We
the
get no more guitar.
Yeah.
No. I hope Kyle O'Reilly goes on to win the NXT title because he's one of the greatest achievements. Second only to Otis.
Yes, I agree. Anyway,
No.
we'll move on. North American title match. Now, I referred to this one earlier when I spoiled my prediction, so I'll get it out of the way quick. I think Gargano is going to win because I think, one, Ricochet is moving. Two, I think they're going to want both members of DIY to have the championships.
Yep.
Well, that spoiled my other one now as well, so well done. But,
Yeah, totally. I totally see this happening because they are playing up Ciampa as a puppet master. He's control, and so Gargano fully extreme on Ricochet, and Ricochet is going to drop the title to Gargano. And at the end of the night, we are going to see Ciampa and Gargano on the stage holding up both championships.
Should we just put both images on the screen or not?
I can't actually, but
giving away the NXT title stuff.
Not
The
right
NXT
now.
title picture in the same one.
but yeah, I think we all agree that Gargano is gonna win this one. We spoiled that earlier, but
I could see him not. If they might do,
yeah,
they might do like Canvas. I mean, yeah.
Going to be an awesome match.
holy shit, that fan. Oh, sorry, language. Your fan is ramping up.
mine?
Yes, I think.
I haven't got a fan.
That's what it sounds
Oh.
like.
Of course, it's Liam.
Is it
that
actually?
better?
Is it actually hot ones over there?
Anyway,
Yeah, well, because I'm going to have to turn it on because otherwise I'm literally going to melt. I've not got the radiator on behind me, but the heating in the house, like all the pipes for it go under my floor. So it's
yeah.
like,
So when
But
someone
yeah, I am-
says an S word, we are going to hear it.
Yes.
anyway, as I said, we could see Gargano losing. They could do like where Johnny thinks that Candice is turning on him, but she's actually doing it for his help because she sees like just wanting to get Ciampa and blah blah blah. But I think the best way we do that after he's already won the belt because they got involved on last show. So she'll play a part either in the next set of takeovers after takeover or at a takeover. So.
segues nicely into the NXT title match. We all just all gave our reason for
Yeah.
Gargano winning, as both members of DIY will have the championships. I think Ciampa's going to retain here.
Yep.
Don't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just shows how great the storytelling of NXT is because these two championship matches are actually intertwined in each other. It's amazing what they pulled off there.
Yep.
What do we predict at this point is going to be the NXT title match at the Mania weekend takeover?
I think Ricochet is gonna be in the Rumble, but not moving up to main roster. And I think I think Ricochet is going to go for the NXT Championship.
I could see a more out there prediction where Gargano doesn't win the title, but Ricochet drops it on an episode of NXT before Mania, and they'll do a four-way at the takeover in Mania with Gargano, Ciampa, Ricochet, and Black.
That would be the only the second ever fatal four-way for the NXT title.
The other one was at NXT takeover fatal four-way.
The aptly named fatal four-way.
Yes.
They're very clever down in NXT with their pay-per-view.
Fourth if we count all titles, because there was two women's title fatal four-ways and a triple threat.
Cheers, Jeff. Any final closing thoughts on TakeOver before we move on to a little bit of...
It's just going to be the greatest show of the weekend, of the month. Probably
I reckon.
What did you say?
Maybe, I said Gargano versus Ricochet might probably be match of the night. Maybe Ciampa versus Black.
Yeah.
The tag match could be as well, I think.
Yes, but not over Ricochet Gargano.
Yeah,
I
I've never
think.
seen a nation of Strong and O'Reilly have a bad match.
No.
Yes.
I mean, I think that pretty much sums up our
Red Dragon.
predictions for
NXT.
TakeOver.
Yes.
Speaking of
We're going to get into. We touched on there the NXT tag title match, potentially really good. One team that had some really good NXT tag title matches was the Revival, former two-time NXT tag team champions, the first ever NXT tag team champions. And we're going to talk about them.
But
We're going to talk about the Revival, and we're also going to talk about two other people who requested their releases recently from WWE. They love each other.
didn't. So Maria didn't.
They did.
Maria didn't. Maria on Instagram confirmed.
She said she didn't. She did. I can confirm. She did.
Okay.
He's got the sources.
Dave Meltzer.
Meltzer and Pro Wrestling Sheet. So basically, what happened is Maria and Mike requested theirs.
Yes.
Like weeks ago, or months ago even. It was a long time ago, and they got rejected, obviously, for obvious reasons. And Connel has come out and denied it. Fightful, Pro Wrestling Sheet, and Meltzer have all said, they've verified the fact that they did request their releases. They did request their releases. That's a fact. She's saying they didn't. I don't know why. Why bother doing that? But they did. So, and they were rejected. And the other, the ones that we were referring to earlier, the Revival, slightly more interesting because we care about them. The Revival requested their releases not last Monday, the Monday before, straight after they beat the Lucha House Party. They intended to do it before, but Vince and Triple H were too busy filming the Braun Strowman segment, so they had to wait until after the match.
I would have loved it if they just walked in on camera doing that segment, like, hey.
They wouldn't need to ask for their release then, they would just be straight kicked out.
Exactly.
That would be a good way to get yourself. They should have done that, shouldn't they? But either way, what do we think of like AEW? Because Revival's contract ends April 2021, so they're locked down for a couple of years, unfortunately. Or is it April 2020?
I think didn't Meltzer say like 18 months left on their contract or something like that? I think it was a year and a half or something.
Yeah, because
I think it was something.
Rousey is 2021. That's why I've got that in my brain because we're going to talk about that later. But so the Revival contract's out in a year and a bit. What do we think they're going to do in the meantime? And what do we think of the idea of WWE wanting to go to AEW?
To be honest, I think all the sources say Revival asked for their release because of the state of the tag team division. So I think if I don't ever heard someone from the actual roster complaining about the state of the division. So maybe this kicks in with WWE and they start thinking, what is actually wrong here? Why are performers complaining about the division they're wrestling in? Maybe they start thinking. And I hope that's what's going to happen and they're improving it because it has to. And that's not a thing of I want to see it happen. Of course I do, but it just has to happen.
Yes, adding Kurt Hawkins to any division is that jet fuel that needs to kick off. I'm sure Dan has more things he wants to say about Kurt Hawkins. But we'll get to it.
Oh shit! We can't hear you, Connell. The fan is too loud.
It's like
It's too loud.
raining.
The The audio is Connell's audio has died. I can only assume he's saying that he finds Nia Jax really attractive, but
Yeah.
I can't. I don't. 'Cause I
And
can't hear that.
something about Ric Flair.
Anyway, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was saying, if they're being kept in for the long term, as the contract say they are, and obviously when they've released, after they've released, there was that rumour that they were going to give them the 3-month trial period. So I think they might sit that out, but if nothing has changed in the 3 months, they're going to have to just nail it and just walk out and just basically
Do the Punk.
they're not going to get released.
Yeah. Do the Punk, do the Neville. I think that's what's going to happen eventually if nothing improves.
Left foot in, left foot out, shake it all out, you do the Neville and then you walk out the door. That's what it's all about. Damn, talk about Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, I also want to talk about the Revival.
Talk about whoever you want.
In my personal opinion, they're one of the greatest tag teams ever.
Ankle Easter.
Go down.
Okay. The Revival are one of the greatest tag teams I've ever seen. In my personal opinion, they have a very unique style. They mix together the modern style with the past wrestling style, like the Brainbusters, for example. And they are cutting the ring in half. They got lot of praises by people like Bret Hart or Edge, who actually love the Revival to death. Christian and Edge mentioned that on their podcast numerous times. And well, the entire business is aware of the Revival and they take great pride in what they're doing. So both of them are not pursuing a singles career. They want to be the top tag team. And that's not just a gimmick. That's actually how they personally feel. And WWE have struggled to give them, on the main roster at least, give them the spotlight they deserve. Or they are not on the same league like Charlotte Flair is when she's not a champion in her division. They are like down at the card, not, and then sometimes they get a mention because they had a great match on main event apparently. And now they are in the title picture, and the only thing they can come up with them is coming up with that stupid storyline of having these crazy strange ways of not giving them the titles in title matches. Chad Gable and Bobby Roode constantly cheating, and the Revival getting through. That's like not entertaining. That's goofy, and that's not a serious tag team division. And you can do that once, you can maybe do that twice, but they've done that like numerous times, and as a result, both the champions and the challengers look stupid, and nobody really cares. And it's even worse, there's nobody else on Raw in the tag team division that could actually challenge for the title. So they are stuck in that horrible circle of awful matches. And, well, it forced them to unite, one of the greatest tag teams there's ever been before Ryder stepped into the ring.
Yeah.
That is Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. I've been waiting for this since 2009. I started watching full time in 2008. So since they split, I've been waiting for Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder to reunite. And well, it's unfortunate not see the Revival in that spot because they would have earned it, but that ship has sailed for now. And Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder actually have good chances of getting a title match for these championship matches at WrestleMania or the WrestleMania pre-show. And AEW was the point. Revival. As soon as WWE gets the chance to replace them with another tag team, they will be at many. They will.
So I'm going to make a bold prediction now. If I don't hear Liam's fan like sounding like a bowling flying next to my ear, but okay. God damn Liam, that fan. Okay.
Okay, good.
Good. No. No.
What's going on? I can't hear.
What the fuck?
Dan, say some words.
Hello. So
Right.
it's not me. I turned
What
the
just
microphone off now. It's
what
not
just
coming from me.
What?
It's not me.
What? No, I couldn't hear Jan then. That's what happened.
Okay.
Jan's audio cut out for me.
Yeah.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Bold prediction regarding the revival and their release. I think either they're going to get released or walk out and get their contract terminated, or I hope they don't sit this out. And my bold prediction: first ever AEW Tag Team Championship match, the Young Bucks versus the Revival,
FTR. That'll be cool. Yeah.
or FTR. Yes, but I think that's probably what's going to happen, or I at least hope.
I agree. I mean,
think-
if they can get out of the contracts
Yeah.
fast enough, it depends how fast AEW progresses and how fast the Revival getting out of their contracts. Like,
Yep.
they might have to do another tag title match before the Revival manage to get there.
Depends. I think the first show is in May, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Double
So
up.
in 2 months, that's going to be, no, 4 months. In 4 months,
I'm gonna say
maybe-
Still in March.
maybe. I think if they're not going to do the tag title match on Double or Nothing, so the first show, I think it's going to work out. Maybe they're going to sit out and just wait. Maybe they're already in talks with the Revival, so hey, are you leaving? Do you guys can stuff like that? But yeah, it's a pretty serious situation, I think, actually, because that is, yeah, I don't know, someone to actually speak up about something in WWE has been rare in recent years, just because people are afraid, I think, and actually seeing someone like the Revival that are among the fans, and I think backstage also, a respected tag team, speak up. I think that's a very good thing, so...
I agree. I think it shows that this whole thing about, you know, the reason for them handing in the
do care.
releases because they do care. It's not like a gimmick, like it's an actual thing, which is really refreshing and really nice, and makes them so much more like likable as people and as wrestlers.
Yep.
I think anyone who's forced to wrestle Kalisto every week should ask for permission.
I completely agree.
Anyway,
Now,
Kalisto.
The discussion, wider discussion here, is the reason the Revival handed in the request is because of the floundering tag team division. So let's talk about said tag team division. Now, because of this whole hurrah, reports have come out that WWE are now planning to care about the tag team division, which is absolutely, I'm sure, coincidental timing. But yeah, they are reports that they are going to react to it. I don't think they have much choice. I think they have to. And yeah, what do you think the rebuilding of the tag team division needs to entail for it to be successful? Like, what do they need to fix? Obviously, less piss and whatever. But, you know, just less stupid stuff. But from a wider scale, what do you think they need to do with the tag team division to make it more
I'm
credible?
going to say something else that's on the agenda, actually. So the injuries. I think a big problem in recent years for WWE, especially in tag team division, a tag team is picking up and then someone of the team gets injured. So they're off. Just Revival. I think the problem with the Revival, they aren't at the point they could be because the injuries they had. I think
they'd have been champions by now.
Yes, I think the only reason the Revival aren't at the top is the injuries. And I think a big problem for WWE, especially with the tag team division, is injuries. So, I don't know how they can reduce that or something, but I think that's a big problem. Because if someone in a team gets injured, they're done.
We've seen it with Breezango previously.
Yep.
Fandango's out, he's due back soon, but Tyler Breeze has been doing nothing of note since then. That's one tag team out of the division. Akam's injured now with AOP, which means Razor's going to be doing nothing for at least a couple of months, I assume.
What does Akam have? I don't know actually. Do you?
I saw it. I can't remember. It's a leg injury and he's out for a couple of months.
Okay.
I don't think we know specifics yet.
I just heard he was injured, but didn't look into what he has actually. So.
Yeah, the injury thing is the biggest one because obviously the tag team partner, they're stranded. Like Luke Harper when Rowan went down. Well, did nothing, and when there was reports that he was also injured, I was like, I didn't know he was injured because I hadn't seen him on telly because they hadn't used him as a solo because he was a tag guy. I don't think the tag guys specifically have to be tag guy. Like you can have a mix up of single people. Like why can't Big E have a solo feud with Samoa Joe?
Yeah,
because that
I think also in any other division, the WWE has enough people. We need more tag teams. I know it sounds crazy, but maybe because we need more tag teams on Raw and SmackDown. So if some team falls out, we aren't left with 2 or 3 teams on one show. We have like 5, 6, or 7 left. I think
one of the more recent. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, that's I think just more teams as
one of the more recent reports that came out is there are plans for a new tag team on SmackDown, which is Andrade and Rey Mysterio. They're gonna make Sin Cara's gonna be involved in some form, whether that be to drive the feud further or a part of a faction or whatever. Yeah, I know why. But yeah, the plan is for Andrade to become the next Latin American babyface, and to do that, they're gonna. Oh, these are the reports anyway. They're gonna team in with Rey Mysterio to achieve that, and then eventually, when Rey goes, Andrade's left as the babyface, and they're gonna tear the division apart. They're gonna be amazing. I think the way the SmackDown tag division is gonna pan out, Shane and Miz are gonna win, which isn't exactly the best start. I think the Bludgeon Brothers are due back soon. I think Bludgeon Brothers beat Shane and Miz, and then perhaps like they destroy Shane, and then Miz blames Shane, and then that's how you get Miz Shane at Mania. And then I think the team to beat the Bludgeon Brothers are potentially Rey and Andrade. I don't see any other teams on SmackDown at the minute that get anything out of.
Andrade versus the Usos at WrestleMania. That would be.
I mean, there's so many good matches.
I think the SmackDown tag team division is at a better state than Raw.
Absolutely.
It's because the 3 top teams in the whole division are the Usos, New Day, and Bar.
I mean, the Usos, like, they're at a point now. They're above the titles, like, because the titles are so mid card. They're above the titles because the last time.
I think a logical move to elevate the Raw division a bit, put the Usos on Raw.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That would be a first step to improvement.
Maybe even one of New Day or Jameson Cesaro as well. Because I think it's so lopsided at the minute. Because like you've got Gallows and Anderson, Ronnie Cartel, and who else?
Lucha House Party on Raw. It's like.
Yeah, let's not talk about them.
I've never seen them, and they popped up out of nowhere. Have we even seen them since they ran?
No, because they did the thing on the New Era episode where they tried to trick everyone, and then next week they were in an 8-team tag match. Not an 8-team tag match. They were in an 8-man tag match. It was completely random. It was like Gallows and Anderson and New Day against Usos and Sanity or some stupid thing like that.
So something we haven't really touched about. Yes, we need more tag teams, but the problem is not solved by chucking random guys together. Something that the tag team division doesn't have, but the other divisions have is backup people. So if one tag team gets injured, there's no team that can follow up. On SmackDown, we have Usos, New Day, and The Bar, but they've all been tag champs. We already seen that if one of them gets injured, we don't have a backup tag team really, so we have to chuck in The Miz and Shane McMahon in a team, so we can have a big tag match on the WrestleMania or a pay-per-view before that.
I mean, they do have the Bludgeon Brothers, but they're hurt.
Yeah, they have maybe the Bludgeon Brothers are going to come back before WrestleMania, but we don't know how. Eric Rowan has been injured longer than Harper. Maybe he's already ready to go, but we don't know if Harper's ready to go. So
I think they're both, aren't they both?
It would be quite a miracle. Both at the same time would be ready to wrestle. I know the reports. I know they've both been seen at the Performance Center, but it doesn't say that they're 100% cleared, bro. So
yeah, like Harper could have gone and then been like, I'm not ready.
No, about that. But you need to take tag teams just seriously. So you have the Fashion Police. They are great. They're a great comedy act, but they can also go in the ring, and they never played that up. They just ignored the fact that they could wrestle, made the segments, and they never really featured in the ring. So how are people going to invest in them? So you need to create these backup people in the specialist floating around alone. Why is not he having a tag team partner and building a serious tag team? It's just a miracle. You need to put up serious tag teams and title contenders and just not build to the next title match and then forget about everybody who's not involved in the title match. You even have to do feuds that are not solving around the tag team titles. So that the entire division has to really do a reset. On Raw and SmackDown.
I think that the team that beats Roy Rude and Jeff, I believe I've said this to you before, will be Lashley and Leon Rush team. And if they're healthy, I can see them facing Owens and Zayn as they
I agree.
Can
be a lot of titles moving around.
Can we talk about the team that's actually going to beat Gable and Roode?
Yes.
Segway, Otis and Tucker. Heavy machinery.
Oh, speaking of Otis, he's on the agenda.
Yes.
Otis has his own space on the agenda and will every single week.
Every single
week. He is that good.
In some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
Hawkins and Ryder are winning.
Quick intervention here. I've been only knowing these guys for 4 days, and 80%, if not more, of the messages in Discord have been about Otis, and I'm not kidding. It's so much.
It's just the greatest man that ever lived.
And there were 10% more curry words about.
It's 80% Otis, 15% swear words and insulting someone, and 5% actual content. So
Ric Flair, basically.
Yeah, but no, but I think Heavy Machinery, it's a good addition to the division. Let's see how they do with them.
Apparently Vince loves Otis, because why wouldn't he?
He's not big, but he's strong.
He's as tall as he is wide.
Yep, he's a square. Basically. But speaking of Otis,
Thanks,
it's
Dan.
it's incredible to me how he lifts more than Lars Sullivan. I don't believe it. I just saw the video on YouTube and what?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's an
Otis
absolute
is
tank.
it's incredible. I think 15 pounds more than Sullivan on squats. I think that's in that weight division almost 650 pounds. Just imagine that small guy. Otis isn't tall but how? It's incredible.
Stakes and weights.
That's exactly how.
Stakes and weights.
I think Otis should engage in a WWE title feud with Daniel Bryan because of stakes. I think that's the next logical progression.
Otis is going to stay in front of Bryan. I reckon they will actually have a match.
Got the WWE title match set for Mania. It's Bryan versus Otis.
Like that one match that Otis had with Ciampa in NXT. They'll have one of those.
Exactly. He's been in big title matches before. He's got the experience. Yeah, I mean, I think overall, in terms of the tag division, it needs a reset. Matt and Jeff Hardy, their contracts are coming up and are apparently both being renewed. Apparently, we could see a reunion of some form with them.
Do you think the Matt and Bray get back together?
I think Matt and Jeff are 100% getting back together. I think the only reason they aren't yet is because Matt is still out. I think that's the only reason. Yeah.
They had Matt with Bray.
Please don't do the typical Hardy Boys. Do the broken stuff, and then we'll be good. But yeah, that's a few teams coming back, being added. I think the tag team division is heading up, but right now I think it's dependent on booking by WWE only, I think.
So it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Shall we? We'll move on then. There's not really a natural transition into the next topic. Talking of people returning, how about some people leaving? In particular, Ronda Rousey potentially. Now I'm going to go through this again. So Ronda Rousey is apparently, Dave Meltzer said, either leaving or taking a hiatus, taking a break from WWE after WrestleMania 35. Her contract runs out in 2021, so she's not leaving WWE.
Nope.
Unless they've agreed that that's the case.
I don't think so.
When she signed the contract, I don't think that's the case either. It'll be a break.
She's not leaving before they do the Horsewoman versus Horsewoman match. And they're not going to do that before WrestleMania.
Exactly. That's so. At the minute, it's going to be a break, purely because of her vagina. Apparently, I'm going to get the exact quote.
I read that article and I had to laugh so free. We gotta pull that up. Someone's gotta quote that, please.
I've got it. I've literally got it up. So I'm going to read.
Perfect. Please quote what she said.
No, I'm finished. So the interviewer asked her, the rumours about her starting a family and that potentially why she's taking this break. And Ronda Rousey's response was as follows: I honestly don't know why anyone feels like they're an authority to speak on the plans for my uterus. If I responded every single time the world speculated what I was doing with my womb, I would not have a free moment in the day. I really don't feel like I should have to respond to that kind of thing. It's my vagina, my life. Keep the speculations to yourself. Leave me and write me. Leave me and write me.
Leave me and write me. Yeah, of course.
No.
Read it.
No.
Read it.
Leave me and my reproductive organs alone.
You and your reproductive organs.
Leave her alone.
I don't think we need to say anything else about that.
If Travis Brown is her husband, she won't have that parts for much longer. Okay.
God.
I'm sorry.
It's my vagina, we don't get to speak about it.
Right.
My vagina, my life. That's a t-shirt right there.
Oh, bloody hell. Would not at all be surprised.
I really
but yeah,
the heavy machinery shirt to go up on WWE Shop, and I want to see Ian buy it and wear it every single week. You do one of these.
Every single time I get seen ever.
That's all he wears. Yeah, you want to wear it.
But yeah, so this points to Rousey leaving after WrestleMania. The plan at the minute is for Becky to go over Ronda because that's what the fans want. WWE don't always give the fans what they want, but generally to close out WrestleManias, They're going to get a shit reaction if they don't do that. If it's Charlotte that wins, the belief at the minute is that Becky will go over Ronda. It will be a 3-way still. That's
Do you
still
guys
on, but it'll be Becky that wins.
Do you guys actually think that Rousey versus Becky versus Charlotte is going to be the match that goes on last at Mania?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if Ronda's leaving, and especially if Becky's winning, which I think then both of them things are happening. So yes.
Yes.
I know you talked about
If
Dynamite.
not Ric Flair.
Ric
Turn
Flair
second
is
to
going
match,
to
so.
be there, okay? Shut up now.
John Cena world title in the main
Talk
event.
about something else actually, WrestleMania related. It's not on the agenda, so we'll have to improvise. WWE actually released a promotional thing. I can't remember exactly what it's for. I'm going to check now. But on it, they listed, they advertised a couple of Hall of Famers.
Oh, we have the WWF superstars.
That's it. Where WWF superstars come into the network. And the advert read that we can witness WWE Hall of Famers, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and more. And you may have noticed, Undertaker isn't in the Hall of Fame yet. So the potential is they've spoiled that. And Undertaker is going in the Hall of Fame this year.
Nah, I think it isn't even a spoiler. To be honest, I think that was just obvious after him not being in last year. I think, my opinion.
I just think he's not going to go in this year, and it was a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very easy mistake for someone to get mixed up. When you're writing down lists like Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Undertaker is naturally on them.
Yeah.
I think it may have been a mistake. May have been maybe it was a mistake that accidentally spoiled it. But we don't know.
I think if he gets inducted, it has no indictment on this whatsoever.
I mean, there are signs, like Taker is putting himself more out there. He had that recent picture taken at some Impact event with the Knockouts champion and Eli Drake, and he's having a Twitter account now, right? And he's breaking kayfabe, more
Who
and
does
more.
he think he is? Breaking kayfabe like that.
How dare
Joke,
you?
embarrassment to wrestling.
He's totally going.
It should be a surprise.
It's can't get the Rock. Vince obviously wants to have a big time guy as the headliner for the Hall of Fame, and if you can't get Rock for some reasons because he has to shoot a movie or something, or you don't want to go, who else is going to be there? Which other former big huge world champion is not already in the Hall of Fame? There's only, I reckon, Scott Steiner. When I look down the list, there's only Scott Steiner left, but he's not headliner, so he's his Impact, so it'd probably be The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Who do we think? I was going to say, who do we think inducts him? I think multiple people.
Kane.
Because
Kane.
I think multiple people. I think Kane is one of them. I think Shawn Michaels is one of them, and I think Vince McMahon is one of them.
Vince
Because the Undertaker's career.
Hall of Fame, though.
He will. It's the Undertaker. Undertaker's career is absolutely unprecedented. When you talk about greatest of all time, it is Undertaker. It just is.
Maybe also
Over time.
Ted DiBiase, who introduced the Undertaker.
That's a shout as well. I think they do something absolutely massive.
Maybe Mick Foley as well. He's also someone who could do it. Could have helped himself.
I mean, potentially, we're saying all these names, and I doubt this would happen. Could they just give him his own Hall of Fame induction, just him?
No.
Thanks, guys. That went well, didn't it?
No, but I don't think that's something they ever do.
He is maybe...
Is it something that, I don't know. I think, because the fact that he is the Undertaker...
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, I mean, I was just throwing it out there. I don't think that's going to happen anyway. That was just me throwing it out there. But what I do think will happen is multiple people will induct him because he's interacted with so many people over time. I think it's wrong for just one person to induct him.
Yeah, but Kane is the last one who is going to come out and induct him because.
Yes.
Yeah. Chokeslam Kurt Hawkins once. I think he should induct him.
But talking about
Even
Taker, and I just thought of this. If he has a match at Mania this year, who is it against?
Ric Flair.
God damn it.
But yeah, if Undertaker's wrestling, I think he's against Michaels. I don't think he's wrestling.
I don't think it's
I don't think either of them are.
Yeah, doesn't look like it. I don't see anyone facing Taker. He's had all the matches you can have. There's like
I think the
no
last
one
possibly one, and that's a career end for two people in that match, is against Kane one more time. That's it's not a match I look forward to or would like to see, but I think that's the last match Taker will have in WWE.
I think there's one that it depends if they have the balls to do it. That is for Drew McIntyre to retire him. Don't know if that's going to happen.
Aleister Black.
Aleister Black.
Black's a good one as well.
Just have Aleister Black kick Undertaker with a black mass, lights go out, Undertaker is away, and Aleister Black is sitting in his cross-legged seat in the middle of the ring with Undertaker's gloves in his hand, and it's
And his hat on his head.
So I live close to the Netherlands. The party that will go off right across to the border is going to be insane then. The entire Netherlands are going to celebrate if Black beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea. But it depends if it'll have to be next year. It won't be this year. I don't think it could be.
Unless
But
Black
it'll have to be.
wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
I mean, we've reached the awkward point now where we've got to the end of the agenda.
We have not much left to talk about, if anything.
I'm scrolling through Twitter. There's not really much else to talk about. If anyone has any other talking points they want to bring up,
let me look through Twitter quick. I'll see if.
So, have we talked about Royal Rumble surprises that are not NXT superstars? I think we did, right? So legends.
No, I don't think we did because we was
not really, but
just,
I think to be honest, outside WWE or legends maybe, but I think there is no one big outside of WWE that will be in the Rumble. No one. Kenny can't be in it.
There's a recent WXW thing which could maybe do an appearance to hype his signing with NXT UK and then put more eyes on that product.
Yeah, sure, but he's already in WWE. Like.
Yes, but he didn't have a match yet, and he wasn't announced by WWE.com.
Are you talking about Dragunov?
No, Walter. I think he's talking about Walter.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear. Yeah, potentially.
I think the only legend I actually named in the article was Kurt Angle. And
if he even counts.
Yeah, and I had a spot for just.
Or actually, I'm going to send it down with all of my. I'm serious right now. Goldust, maybe for his last short final run. He was number 29 last year.
Anybody injured?
Rumored.
Does anyone think it's going to return for the Rumble?
No one big.
It's too soon for Owen and Zayn.
Yeah, but Owens
and Zayn won't be back yet.
Nope.
I guess if Bray counts, he might be there.
Bray's gonna. I think Bray's gonna be there. In fact, you know what? WrestleVotes tweeted out a minute ago. 3 surprise entrants that they're not spoilers. They're just being discussed. And now I'll read the entire tweet. On the way to Phoenix for the Rumble, a few names I keep hearing about showing up on Sunday as surprises. One of them's Kurt Angle. Mm-hmm. One of them's Bray Wyatt. The other one is Velveteen Dream.
Hey, I got that one. I got
And
two
he says
back.
he does say nothing's set, but those names have been coming up in conversations for the past few weeks.
So imagine the stare-down between Velveteen Dream and Goldust.
That would be weird.
Can you imagine
Just
the stand
weird.
out with Velvet Dream and The Undertaker?
He's going to just produce a stare-down with everyone. That's just how he is, the Velveteen Dream. Titus O'Neil is going to be in the Royal Rumble match, by the way.
And
Oh, it's gonna fall over.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to force a repeat
And
of live.
did
Pile
anyone?
of idiots.
I mean, it was a funny thing, but after thinking about it for a few, it took me weeks, I think a month or two even, how dangerous that was.
It was really dangerous.
I mean,
Well, I mean, it wasn't done.
if
It wasn't
he
done
slipped,
deliberately.
if he slipped just a step or two later, he would just crack his skull and maybe even his spine, because the iron bar right there.
It seemed like it was perfectly planned, just by the way he slid perfectly under. And
I
obviously the
don't
one they
think that was. You could see how pissed he was, and I don't think he would have
It
seen.
wasn't. It looked it.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, like it seemed like it was too perfect to not be real.
Yeah,
It was.
also true.
But then
They
they
can't-
It's not gonna be
They can't help themselves. Because when something natural like that happens and it gets over or is really funny, every single time they force it again. They did it in the few weeks afterwards, like after the Greatest Royal Rumble, like the Raws afterwards. He just fell over and on the way to the
Yeah,
ring.
James Apollo came out and cleared the way and okay,
They can't
fell
help,
off.
and it's
He got
never
his
as
and they fell off the ropes. Yeah.
yeah. It was the most ridiculous thing.
But
I don't know. Like what we didn't do is actually go through the entire Rumble field that's been announced. I'll do that really quick.
yeah, sure.
So at the minute for the 30-man Royal Rumble, we've got R-Truth, who theoretically is entering at number 30. We didn't talk.
We haven't
Connell
talked
didn't
about
touch on. We'll go back to that. I'll go through. I'll list them all, and then we'll go back to you. So at the minute we've got R-Truth, Randy Orton, Titus O'Neil, Rey Mysterio, Mustafa Ali, John Cena, Andrade, Apollo Crews, Elias, Baron Corbin, Jinder Mahal, Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Drew McIntyre, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Xavier Woods, and Jeff Hardy. Now we touched on John Cena.
How many people were this? 20?
20, but Cena isn't in there, so 19.
19, 11 spots left.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to when I first started WrestleVision, you'd see who I think they're all going to be. And on the topic of R-Truth, so who's taking his spot? I mean, it's probably going to be Braun.
Yeah, I think it's the only option. Braun.
Because they'll probably
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
give it Kenny Omega, guys.
Oh,
I don't. I think. I think the only option for Kenny Omega to be in the Rumble is if WWE spends all the money they have to buy out his contract, and they won't do that. That just won't happen.
I mean, he's already gone to AEW, so.
We had the discussion when I said Kushida was going to be.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, anyway, the Women's Royal Rumble, we'll go through that now. Carmella at number 30. Alexa Bliss, Lacey Evans, Bayley, Tamina, Lana, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Ember Moon, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Alicia Fox, Natalia, Mickie James, Nia Jax, Nikki Cross, Naomi, Zelina Vega, and Charlotte Flair.
What a stacked field.
Yeah. I think I'm not entirely sure. I think that's 23, so there's 7.
Yeah, there's 7 spots left. I've done my research on this.
7 spots. So
like we've done, I think Toni Storm is going to be in there, but not because not because she's going to be in there because she won the Mae Young Classic, and not because she's the UK champion. Because we had Kyrie in last year, she won the dramatic. They're going to have Tony Fisher going to do the hype up next year's match. I think, well, Bianca will be next. She won't be the champion as well, and then Griffin Leah, of course, and Nikki Bella. Everyone's favourite.
Hooray! Everyone's favourite.
The crowd is going to go wild. Actually, even their hometown.
They are as well. That's the worst thing.
Yeah, they're in their hometown as well, which might actually get a decent reaction.
What will they?
Oh, I
Do
forgot about that.
they
Oh,
care
for God's
about
sake!
Mela?
I forgot they're in the Arizona. I mean,
So, how many women is Nia going to break, eliminate, and injure?
I think 10 at least.
Who's getting the most eliminations?
Yes, for sure.
But
I
how
think
many?
so. I think so.
How many of them get injured on the way down?
all of them.
All of them, yeah. They
I
just
can't
come. It's Naya and I think
it's
Naya
number
and Becky are the last two, and then all the other 28 women come in and throw Naya out, and that's it.
I think Nia starts number one and just breaks everyone's face and fucks them over the ropes one by one as the crowd gets more and more angry.
Yeah.
And then she's eliminated by Cena and Cena wins. And then all of a sudden,
Woo!
Whoa.
And on that note,
Ooh.
I think it's time to wrap things up.
It's been.
If you decided to watch us fail miserably, then thank you very much. Make sure you stay tuned for more content. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll have more live streams coming as well because they're dead good. They're dead good. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. The Twitter is @WrestleVisionYT. That's in the description. Check out the website, which is WrestleVisionYT.wordpress.com, which is in the description rather, as well. You can follow Dan on Twitter @Walu2to go. You can follow Connell @Connell